Classifying research designs. We have so many research designs because there are so many possibilities. There are so many ways to collect data, and there are so many ways to go for sampling procedures, right? So when we are strategically designing our studies, we are required to know that what sorts of possibilities are there, okay? And how we can make our study design, research design, a solid one and the most reliable one, right? So research design is basically your overall plan that how would you go for the conducting of your studies, okay? How would you go for your selection of the sample, and then how would you, do your procedure for sampling design, and then how would you collect data, and how would you proceed, how would you analyze, and how would you interpret, and finally, how would you report, right? So these are the points which are the part of your research designing and overall planning. So your research design is the blueprint of your study, right? That's, providing you with the structure of the study, the skeleton of the study, that what is going to be the skeleton of your study. Guys, we have so many possibilities, and maybe that's the basic problem for us because there are so many options, there are so many choices. And since we have so many choices, we are required to know the details of those choices, and then out of those possibilities, we would decide that which is, the most appropriate design, what is the most appropriate possibility for our study, okay? So that is that we have so many possibilities for our research designs. The point is that our problem, and within the problem, our variables would give us the option for our research questions. We would design our research questions, and from our research questions, we would decide that who is going to be our population and to whom we are going to generalize our findings, right? From population, we would decide that who is going to be an appropriate sample for this population, right? And then from the sample, we would decide that how can we draw the best possible data from the sample through which research design, right? So we would definitely be connecting our next step with the previous one, and then we would definitely be making sure that what is the most suitable research design for our study. Regarding the classification of research designs, we must know that we can classify research in terms of basic and applied, right? Basic when it is more pure theoretical and hypothetical sort of study, okay? And then applied when we are concerned with the solution of a problem, right? So we must know that how can we differentiate between these two broader division of research in terms of basic, theoretical, and then applied one, okay? Then we also have one classification of research in terms of data collection and in terms of the nature of data, in terms of the instrumentation for data collection, and of course also for the data analysis, okay? So that is actually the division of research designs into two possibilities, which is called qualitative, quantitative, continuum, right? So qualitative, when you are more concerned with the information-rich paradigm. In quantitative, when you would like to go for something which is based on the true representation, okay? So you want to have a representative sampling paradigm. You want to go for representative sampling paradigm, right? So you should also know that what are those tools, what are those instrumentations, what is the nature of data where we need to go for this division. How can we decide that whether our study is going to be qualitative or quantitative? And in what cases we can make it as a blend of the two, right? So there are possibilities, and we would definitely be working and thinking about these possibilities. Then we have another classification of research designs in terms of exploratory and confirmatory. So in very simple words, what we are doing here is basically we are in a position to decide that whether we would be confirming something. Is there any hypothesis to work on and to testify and to evaluate and to examine that hypothesis, or we don't have any hypothesis and we are exploring something from from new beginning. So we don't have actually any hypothesis in hand. And in this case, it is going to be an exploratory study, right? So we have another possibility to decide that whether our study is going to be exploratory or confirmatory, right? So that's another option. And research design would definitely be guiding us towards the strongest possible study, right? Because these possibilities, these features are providing us with an opportunity to decide that in given circumstances, how can we go and decide a solid study, right? A very sound and a strong study, right? And how can we design a very efficient structure for our study so that we can have a data which is the mostly reliable data, right? And we can have the best possible data, right? The best representative of the sampling, right? And similarly, we while designing and while strategically designing our study, we must be making sure that the most useful answers are possible while using which research design. Okay, so we must be using the best possible way to have the most useful answer to our research question, right? And that's a crucial point, that we must be able to decide. If our research design is poor, then we would have a house full of problems, a house full of issues, and we would be like playing with havoc, right? So just in order to make sure that we have the strongest possible research design, we must be working with these possibilities, and we would decide, and we would be coming up with a mapping strategy and with critical planning, right? So these are the steps which we would be passing through in order to have the strongest possible research design for our study.